Hello and welcome to my channel, always both the bird, and like always if you've been here before, welcome back. So this is going to be the different video. Basically, like I said in the previous video, instead of doing like spoilers for M20 because you can watch that anywhere, I decided to wait till today, and we're going to go through, I have a bunch of slides, and we're going to go through decks that I'm super excited to make, because July 2nd on Tuesday, around noon Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to go live on YouTube, and we're going to open up a ton of packs and make a ton of decks and have a ton of fun and stream for probably most of the day. So I don't know how long I'm going to stream, but it's at least hours upon hours. So come early, come late, I'll probably still be here. So we're just basically going to go through so this is going to be me going through which decks I'm super excited for. I couldn't do every card. It would be way too long of a video. But in general, these are probably the things that I'm most excited for. So, I guess before we do that, if you want to see these decks being made, hit the like button, subscribe, tap the bell icon. Get notified whenever we post a video. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and when I go live Sundays 8 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube. And also you'll get notified Tuesday when we start making some of these decks. So let's see if I can do this without breaking everything. Oh. Alright, so the absolute first thing I want to do is this. This is the first deck I'm going to make. Marauding Raptor, and Polyraptor. Basically, there is no May. This is an absolute infinite loop, and I want to see how Arena handles it. Basically, we get Marauding Raptor down. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under our control, it deals 2 damage to it. It's not a May. It just deals 2 damage. And Polyraptor, whenever Polyraptor is dealt damage, create a token that's a copy of Polyraptor. So basically, we have Marauding Raptor down, Polyraptor comes in, the first Raptor does 2 damage to it, it makes a copy of it. When that copy comes in, the Marauding Raptor will deal 2 damage, and you get a copy of it. And it's literally infinite. There is no May in this whatsoever. And I really want to see how Arena is going to handle it. So the next one is, this is just weird. I don't know how I'm going to play it. I'm thinking it's a Masterminds acquisition deck, so we can kind of search for it and stuff. But basically for 3, it's a 4/5 flyer for 6, but for 3 we can tap it, draw 2 cards, and discard a card. But, alternate win condition. Whenever he deals damage to an opponent, you may reveal your hand. If cards with at least 6 different converted mana costs are revealed this way, that player loses the game. So, it's interesting. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know what deck we're going to make around it. I'd love to hear some comments, but I definitely want to play this deck. Or at least this card, somehow. This thing. Marauding Raptor. Every single person went nuts when they saw this. It's a 7/6 for 3, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you discard a card. So, there is a little bit of a downside, especially if it just gets removed, but I figured maybe something like a Dead Presence. Whenever a swamp enters the battlefield, you can draw a card and lose 1 life, or it deals 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. Stuff like this. This definitely isn't the entire deck, but basically kind of like a, can we do mono black Stompy now instead of just mono green Stompy? Who knows? We'll figure something out. I'm super excited about Marauding Raptor. Alright, so there are a lot of cards on screen, and we will get through them all, I promise. But basically, Elementals looks amazing in this deck. The 2 Chandras, basically, for 0, we can put a loyalty counter, or for 0, we can create a 1/1 red elemental. For -2, target instant and sorcery, blah, blah, blah. But the other Chandra, Elementals you control get +2/+0. We can add 2 mana, or we can do 2 damage to any target. First thing I thought of when I saw this was Nissa Who Shakes the World. The +1 actually turns your lands into elementals. So essentially, yeah, and then like you've got like the Creeping Trailblazer, basically other elementals get +1/+0. For 4 it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each elemental you control. Cavalier of Flame for 2 Creatures you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste. When he enters the battlefield, discard any number of cards and draw that many cards. When it dies, deal X damage to each opponent and planeswalker, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. Just seems like a good elemental. Chandra's Embercat, tap to add red, basically for an elemental or a Chandra, and then Wakefoot Elemental. For 5, you can untap target land, it becomes a 5/5 elemental. With haste, it's still a land. Like, there are so many elementals. There were even blue elementals and stuff, but I was thinking something like a green-red elemental deck might just be amazing. This one. I saw Ironroot Warlord, and the first thing I thought of was, tokens. Because it's equal to the number of tokens you control, and for 5, you create a token. Then there's also Woodland Champion, that whenever one or more tokens enters the battlefield, put that many 1/1 counters on Woodland Champion. So while they're good, I was like, oh, Shrestani Discordant and March of the Multitudes. Definitely a Selesnya token deck is definitely in the future. I love Selesnya. It's probably my favorite guild. And I love tokens. I love going wide. And I love getting mad when I put like 100 creatures on the battlefield and Settle the Wreckage comes out. It's the worst feeling ever, but I love it. Alright, so blue, maybe Jeskai, because I kind of threw that in there. Like flyers. We've definitely done mono blue flyers before, like with the Murmur Mystic and Favorable Winds. But the Mu Yanling Sky Dancer, basically the plus ability, we can kill flying on something, on an opponent's creature. The minus ability, we create a 4/4 blue elemental with flying. -8 islands you have tapped to draw a card. Then you got like the Empyrean Eagle. I hope I said that right. Flying, other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. It's basically Favorable Winds on a stick. And then like you got the Kaikar Wind's Fury. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying, sacrifice a spirit, add red. It's basically another Murmuring Mystic, kind of. So basically, like, kind of like a tokens, but like a go wide and tall flyer deck. I thought would be pretty fun. Hey, maybe we can finally make a Hydra deck. I know a couple of viewers have definitely asked for it. But like the Gargo's Vicious Watcher seems pretty okay. But Hydra spells cost 4 less to cast, and whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, he gets to fight up to one target creature you don't control. So, and that's not just when so if anything becomes the target, we get to just have an 8/7 fight something. And because it's 4 colorless to cast, like the Voracious Hydra, if we just cast it for 2 green, we'll get 4 counters. And then when it comes in, we can either double the counters or have it fight something. So I'm thinking like a mono green Hydra deck might be pretty fun. There's also a bunch of Hydras in M19, so on and so forth. But so we're gonna get into kind of like not necessarily decks, but stuff that I love that came back. The gain lifelands, like the lifelands. We have all 10 of them in the this set. Basically, it comes into play tapped. When it comes in, you gain 1 life, and then you can add either or color for each guild. Just super good, super useful, and I kind of always like these lands. Then the next one, Scry Lands. I like these even better. So we're only getting 5. I'm guessing in whatever comes after M20, we'll get the other 5. But so basically, it enters. They enter tapped. When it comes in, you get the Scry one and add either color for the guild that they are. So because stuff isn't rotating out till October, we're going to be able to play with Shock Lands, Check Lands, Scry Lands, and and the Life Lands, all for like 3 months. Definitely not putting all of them in every deck, obviously, because these come into play tapped, but we have so many land choices right now that I'm super happy. This thing. Field of the Dead. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I have no idea how to play it. Basically, it comes into play tapped. You can tap to add colorless. Whenever Field of the Dead or another land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. The first thing I thought of was Modern. I like to play Modern and the Valakut. Basically, you shapeshift, grab a whole bunch of Valakoots and mountains, throw them on the battlefield, and the damage just stacks up. So I figured with Field of the Dead, we actually want it in our library. get up to 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we're gonna have to get up to 7 mana at some point just to trigger it. But basically, if we scape shift for 7, we grab 4 Field of the Dead and 3 other lands. That's gonna be 7. So basically, each of these will trigger 7 times. The math gets weird. It works out. You will create a stupid amount of zombies, and that's kind of what I want to do. Like, if I'm thinking it correctly, like, all the lands will come in at the same time. So they all trigger. You have 7 different lands. Well, actually, I guess you grab 1 Field of the Dead, but whatever, because they have to have a lever. It doesn't matter. Scape shift, Field of the Dead, super ramp. That's the idea for this deck. Hopefully it'll work like Valakut did, because that's an amazing deck in Modern. But we'll see. Ley Lines are back. I have nothing else to say. I love Ley Lines. I think the last time was M11. Ley Line of Sanctity is definitely the best. But even Ley Line of Anticipation, everything has flash. Ley Lines are back. I love Ley Lines. This isn't exactly a deck that I'm going to make. It's just kind of, I'm super stoked for them, and they're probably going to end up in a bunch of my decks. This thing, when you next cast, this is the weirdest worded card in all of Magic. When you next cast an instant spell, cast a sorcery, or activate a loyalty ability this turn, copy that spell or ability twice. You may choose new targets. It's copy that ability twice. So if this is instantly going to my Mythic Jeskai. Just an example. Let's say I have to, I play a Sarkhan. I'm -3 to put a dragon into play. If I can, I have a Sarkhan out. I play Repeated Reverberation. -3 for Sarkhan. Get a 4/4 dragon. Copy it twice. Get 3 4/4 dragons total. In general, this is going to be a pretty decent... I think it's going to be a good card in all red decks, but I definitely want to play it in like a Planeswalker deck. So, Bagofholding. I'm a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan. As soon as I saw this, it's... if you don't know, this is an item from Dungeons and Dragons. And essentially, the joke is... like, it's got no size. You can just hold every single item that you ever want in there. But whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. Draw a card, then discard a card. Or we can sacrifice it, return all cards exiled with Bagofholding to their owner's hand. So basically, for 2 and tap, we draw a card, discard a card. It kind of gets tucked under Bagofholding. When we're ready, we can just pay 4 sack and put everything back in our hand. And if I am not wrong, this is going to be the last slide. And just look at that artwork. It's called Fry. Can't be countered for 2. It deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker that's white or blue. It's just the smoking chicken legs. It's the best art ever. And I love it. But in all fairness, Teferi, this card's gunning for you. I think it is an answer to all the Teferi decks. And as funny as it is, and as perfect as... also, just look at that flavor text. I'm afraid your dinner got a little overcooked. But this is definitely an answer to like the Teferi decks and all that. And as much as I think it's like the best joke ever in Magic, it is definitely at least going to be sideboarded in a lot of decks and all that. So that is it. That is what I'm super excited for. That is what we're going to be Tuesday when I go live at about noon, 8 p.m. Eastern. These are probably the decks I'm going to start with. The first thing I'm definitely doing is making that dinosaur deck, because I really want to see how Magic Arena handles an infinite loop. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. We're not going to do many videos like this, but I feel like whenever a set comes out every 3 months, it's kind of like a new season. So, and this is kind of like the trailer to the new season. So, we'll definitely be doing them when a new set comes out. But yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun making the video. It's definitely a different video, but it's something I felt that I really wanted to make. And also, a bunch of people in Discord told me to make this, told me to do something like this. So, Cat, Dragons, Bob, I listen. See? So yeah, if you do have any ideas for decks, comment section below, or honestly even jump on the Discord or catch some of the live streams. That's in a live stream that's mainly what we do. We play a bunch of random decks, viewer decks, stuff like that. We test some stuff out, and then we do direct plays, me versus yous. So yeah, I mean, I have no idea how long this video actually was. I probably should have timed it, but I'm sure it's about 10 minutes or so. We'll see. Regardless, I hope you all have an amazing day. Hit the like button, subscribe, tap the bell icon, get notified every time I post a video, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And you also get notified Sundays when I go live at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube. So hopefully I see you all on Tuesday in that live stream. We're going to be opening up at least 100 packs and going from there, and then just making a ton of fun decks. And like I said, my guess is I'm going to stream for at least 5 or 6 hours, but it depends how much food I order in the morning, and we'll go from there. So, have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video.